Hey, chat, can you hear me? Hit 1 if you can, and 0 if you can't. Hey, chat, can you hear me? Guess so. I forgot to mute the thing that I'm monitoring. How many people we got here? Oh, we got quite the house full. 288, much better than on my main channel. 297. Well, we'll wait for people to trickle in. Yeah. Ah. Uh-huh. Three P's there. Le Pirome. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Le Pirome. I hope I'm not butchering it. Uh, Wild Smile, how's it going? Uh. You give it a second till we have like the final tally of people who are going to be watching this shit. Um, yeah, as you can tell, obviously, I'm doing it on my shit streaming channel and not my main channel. And there's a reason for that, and I'll get to it in just a minute. There's no proper IBS channel. And so I think I'm going to have the shit stream be that proper IBS channel. Yeah. Yeah, I know he ended his stream early, chat. Yeah. Can you confirm Ralph was cheating on Nora? No, he didn't. I'll just get that little thing out of the way. I'm going to be talking about some other shit that went down, but I can say unequivocally that he didn't even glance at another woman while he was there. Okay? So, yeah, because I don't lie. Okay? And if somebody says something and it's a lie, I say, hey, don't say that shit because I know it's a lie. All right? That's why I'm doing this. I want to set a few things straight, okay? And yeah, I'm going to be starting a proper IBS channel. This is going to be it. And I'm going to be the fucking host, and maybe I'll have a co-host, maybe I won't. I don't care. Uh, what it will be is two people can show up and slug it out. They can't hit the host. I'm the host. And I'm not going to be doing my own drama on the shit stream, except for this one time. And it's going to be this one time only because I'm done with internet people. I'm just done with them. The notion of having any kind of true personal relationship. Medicare is just so wise in that regard. You cannot have internet friends. No, because in the end, the accidents of personality that lead people to become successful YouTubers lead to them not having a particular skill set insofar as socialization is concerned. Now, I think I have that particular skill set, or maybe I don't. I don't know. But I've noticed that everybody who's successful at YouTube lacks that skill set, that ability to maintain long-term relationships, that ability to, um, how can I put it, know when not to cross certain lines, for crying out loud. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Chill out, chat. If you're getting frisky, fuck off. Daddy, no. Quiero sangre. Yeah, well, where's the opening exclamation mark based? You should have put 4 opening exclamation marks, like a proper Spanish speaker. I'm frisky and hyped. Yeah, kill boomers. Couldn't agree more. Get Josh on. I don't know if he'll be on or not. Saving it for later, eh, Coach? Well, no. It's all the shit that's been going down lately. It's going to come out on this stream right now. Oh, Zoom is going in on Coach. Like I care. Okay. He's just a tool and not a very particularly effective tool. Okay. He's not one of the main players. I'm going to be talking about the main players. And about Knoxville and about the recent bullshit. Now, I like I said, I am going to be starting an IBS show, and this is going to be it. No fancy graphics or any of that shit. What you're seeing is what you're going to get, which is basically that for your information, is an underwater sewage vent that's in the Caribbean. As you can see, it's spewing shit. That's that brown thing coming out. You see that beautiful blue ocean, right? Now, I think something like something. I think I could be wrong. Something like 80 gallons is being poured out per second from that vent per second. Okay, 80 gallons. I mean, you have a hard time lugging around a single gallon of milk, right, from the supermarket, right? Imagine 80 of those fuckers every second. Okay, that's how much shit is being spewed out into the Caribbean, even as we speak. So I'm going to be doing like this Shitstream IBS, and I'll be the host. And the idea will be for people to show up and spew shit at one another. They can't throw shit at the host because I'm just the host. And I'm not going to bring up my own drama on my show, except this time, except this opening show. And I'll tell you all about it. Okay, so Knoxville. Yeah, when I heard that this fight was going down, I thought it wasn't going to happen. Not an actual fight, and I was right? I bet Ethan Ralph $20 that it wouldn't happen, that Tonka wouldn't show up. Now, I won that bet. He didn't show up, right? Now, I was supposed to be in New York. Somebody said that I was going there on like a book tour, or that I'd claimed that, which is a complete and utter lie. I never said that. I had just business in New York. And it was business that I could arrange in terms of scheduling. And so I went to New York, did my business there, did a meetup with some of my fans, and then flew down to Knoxville. I'd hoped to see a fight, but like I said, I didn't think that there was going to be one. That's why I made my bet with Ethan, and I won that bet. And I'm there in Knoxville, okay? And we had a great time. It was just a lot of fucking fun. It was just a lot of fun because Andy's a very dynamic character. Ethan is a very dynamic character. We had a great time. Now, the thing that, people ask, what happened in the house? Who paid for what? Because that's something that happened the other day. See, Zoom goes on Ethan Ralph's channel and tries to, have people infer that I didn't pay my share of the house. I did pay my share of the house. The house was $600. I paid Ralph $100 because Ralph had forked over the cash for the house, and I paid Andy $150 because I wanted to have the solo room because I had gear, and frankly, I'm just not up for sleeping on a couch in the living room. Sorry, maybe I'm just old, but that's that. So I paid him $150 because when we got to the house, I just took dibs on the bedroom. I assumed that everybody was going to have a bedroom. But you show up and there's only 2 bedrooms. The larger one, Ethan was already there. And the smaller one, I got dibs on it. And, Andy throws a hissy fit. And I'm like, fuck off. I'm sleeping here and that's that. And he chilled out like a good little puppy, And, I paid my share to Ethan. And to smooth the way with Andy, I paid him $150 because if it was $600 and it was going three ways, $200 each, right? It would have been $200 for Ethan, $200 for Andy, and $200 me. But I paid $100 plus $150. The $150 Andy to chill him out and have him not be so upset that he's not getting a bedroom to himself. And so what? I paid $250. I paid my own way. Yeah, but of course, Ethan Ralph, when Zoom is telling him this, Ethan Ralph isn't saying shit, right? He's not saying that I paid my own way. He's like, well, Zoom, because he's afraid of Zoom, because that's the fact. Ethan Ralph is just chicken shit because he's afraid of what Zoom will do, because Zoom is the kind of guy who will do anything. Now, the thing is, why should I care that Ethan Ralph doesn't stick up for me? Well, boys and girls, I'll tell you. See, because I took care of Ethan while we were in Knoxville. I'll tell you a little story, boys and girls. While we were there, Ethan was drunk most of the time, except in the mornings. Because let's face facts, Ethan is at heart an alcoholic. He is an alcoholic who cannot function without Maker's Mark or whatever the fuck he drinks. And that's a fact. Ugh. So one night, I forget which night in particular, but Gator saw this. So I have a witness to this. One night, like at 2 a.m., Ethan's drunk, and some people are passing outside and banging on the door of the house. They're banging on the door of the house, right? And just being annoying, because the street we're on was a busy street, and there was a club right next door to us. The club music didn't bother in the house, but the people passing by would just bang on the gate. Ethan, drunk, gets it in his head to go outside and, confront somebody. And who is he going to confront? Who knows? Because whoever banged it and annoyed him is probably just, yards down the street by the time he comes out, right? I'm the one who goes out and tries to calm him down. I'm the one pulling him to get back into the house. Nobody else is doing anything, right? I pull him back into the house. And as I am pulling him back into the house, there is a cop crossing the street to see what the ruckus is about. If Ethan isn't back in the house, he would have been arrested. How much more time would he have been in jail? Because he's out on probation. The rest of his sentence was suspended. He'd be in jail now. I saved his ass. He would have been in jail. That cop was crossing the street. He was maybe fucking 5 yards away as I'm pulling him back into the house. And the cop's like, what's going on? He hasn't quite figured out what's what. And I'm pulling Ethan back into the house. Maybe 20 seconds more? Or if Ethan goes out drunk and starts a ruckus, that cop was going to stop him, check his priors, see that he'd been in jail. He would have been in the Knoxville Slammer. His parole would have been revoked, and he would have been back in jail. I saved his fucking ass. Gator saw that. I saved his ass, and the next morning I told him what had happened. He didn't have any recollection at all. Of course not, because it's just so pathetic because he's a talented guy. He's a really talented guy, but he's a drunk. Let's quit mincing words. The guy's a fucking full-blown alcoholic. I saved his ass from going to jail. And then, and after that, I thought that we had established a rapport, and we talked about things, and we were already in Knoxville talking about doing a repeat of this. That would be a lot of fun to do something. We didn't have a clear idea what. It was just like, okay, we're definitely going to do something else. I thought, foolishly on my part, I thought that I had a rapport with the guy. And that, me basically saving him from going to jail actually meant something. Me saving him from going to jail for another year or maybe 2. He goes out there, maybe he takes a swing at the fucking cop, right? What would that have been, huh? You tell me, Ethan. 2, 3, 4 years? I wouldn't know because I've never been arrested. Fuck. I saved his fucking ass, and I thought that actually meant something. But, when somebody starts spreading lies about me, lies that he knows because he was there in the conversations. Yeah, he just, I don't know, I'll Zoom, I'm so chicken shit afraid of you that I'm not going to say fucking shit to all the lies you're spewing about the guy who saved my ass from going to jail. Fuck off. Fuck off. Ethan, you're just a chicken shit little fuck. I mean, bottom line, yeah, and chat, you might think that I'm burning a bridge. I don't give a fuck. It's just, maybe I'm just fucking naive. I probably am. Okay, fine. So I'm naive. I thought that there was such a thing as, just a little bit of fucking loyalty. Huh? Okay. Now, Andy. See, Andy, I don't mind what his actions in Knoxville. He fucked some chick. He got some blowjob from some chick and then fucked her, right? That I don't mind. You know what I mind? That he was scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, she was just like this real porker. I mean, this tattooed porker. There was a lot of good trim in Knoxville. And Andy was the big hero, you know? But no, he couldn't work up the motivation, work up the gumption to go after some, better trim. No. He settled for the porker, you know? He settled for the bottom of the barrel, right? And every time I have a private conversation with Andy, it's like, I broke up with Siobhan. I'm back with Siobhan. I broke up with Siobhan. I'm back with Siobhan. I've seen Siobhan. She's another porker. She's another bottom of the barrel, you know? That indicates something. That indicates a lack of self-respect, self-regard. I mean, come on. I'm sorry. I don't scrape the bottom of the barrel insofar as my women are concerned. I'm certainly not going to show pictures of the women I'm with now, but I don't scrape the bottom of the barrel. Andy, man, and he's like acting like he's like the big stud. It's like, you fuck the town pig and you're like Casanova? That's kind of weird. That's Andy. Andy is just, Andy's manipulated by whomever is closest to him at any given time. Whoever lies to him the best is his best friend. Okay? It's no surprise that Zoom is now his bestie. It's just, okay. So anyway, about Knoxville. The Knoxville thing, this is so cringe. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I just have to get this off my mind, off my chest. Because I just found it so low that things that Ethan Ralph knew were untrue, he didn't say fucking shit about them. Okay, I'll give you another example. See, like when we got back from Knoxville, there was this whole thing of like, let's whatchamacallit, do another one. Do another Knoxville. And out of the blue, Andy calls me, okay? He sends like a bunch of Discord messages. He wants to call me and talk to me and fine. Okay, fine. And we talk, okay? He goes on and on about Siobhan for the first 10 minutes or whatever, right? And then he's like, he's saying, let's do another. Knoxville was so cool and blah, blah, blah. Now, this is before it was decided later between Ethan and Andy to go to, Miami, okay? So they're like, let's do something, blah, blah, blah. Sure, that sounds great. I'm down with it, blah, blah. So that was a preliminary conversation with Andy, and I do believe, I forget, frankly, if Ethan hopped onto that call later or we had a second call, the three of us. Be that as it may. The three of us are talking, and we start talking percentages, okay? Now, the goal was to do this like every 3 months and to do like a multimedia package, like streaming, videos, on multiple channels, sort of like a group effort to pool our audiences and, make a big bang, just like the Knoxville thing had happened. The Knoxville thing happened by accident, but this would have been like a deliberate move, right? Okay. So, how'd it go? Oh yeah, we started talking about percentages. And so Andy says that he wants it to be 25 him, 25 Ethan, 25 me, and he wants to split the fourth quarter between SoCal and AG, whom I have never interacted with. I have no idea who these people are. Okay, I just no clue whatsoever. But Andy says that they're his buds, they're his bros, and all the rest of it. Now, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this thing, for me, would be sort of like, I'm not comparing myself to either of these people, but it would be like Terry Gilliam with Monty Python or Spike Jonze with Jackass people. And I'm not comparing myself to these guys. I'm just saying that they were guys who were on the production side of things, behind the camera, because like on Monty Python, everybody knows about Terry Gilliam's animation, but he also directed a lot of the skits and all the rest of it. He was the key mover insofar as directing the actual shorts and skits of Monty Python. Ditto with Spike Jonze. And I was thinking that that's a role that I'd really like. Now, what I could bring to the table apart from that is, of course, I know a lot of people in LA insofar as the talent agents. And I know how they work. And I can get to them if I have something that is potentially sellable. And I told this to Andy and Ethan. And so it seemed to me pretty clear what my role would be. And it was very clear what Ethan and Andy would be. They'd be the talent, in front of the camera. I was unclear what SoCal Andy or SoCal Chris, I forget. SoCal, whatever his name is, and AG, what they would bring to the table, if anything. I mean, from what Andy was describing, they were basically his bros who would be camera operators. Now, camera operating is rather difficult. You have to know what you're doing, but it's a job. It's not somebody who gets a percentage of the action. So I said, well, why don't we have it 33, 33, 33 between me, Ethan, and Andy, and we just pay these guys a salary, $1,000 or $2,000 a month for the 2 months that it takes to do this thing, for the next one. And Andy had this long fucking pause. And that's when I realized, see, what was really going down was that Andy wanted to control 50% of this project because it would be his 25 plus the 25 that he was going to be splitting with his bros, but he'd control that. So it'd basically be Andy owning 50% or controlling 50%, and Ethan and me being like, minority stakeholders in this thing. And that's when I knew, no, this isn't a partnership. This is Andy's thing. He just wants to have partners so he doesn't feel so alone. And, I'm like, we start arguing about this. And right there, Andy gets really fucking hot under the collar, and I'm realizing this isn't going to work. This is not going to work at all, okay? And, we say bye, let's talk about it, think about it. I don't hear from Andy ever again, and I know that I'm not going to. And I tell Ethan, no hard feelings on my part, because I know exactly what went down, and I have no hard feelings, and I don't care. If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And lots of times, I've had preliminary conversations about potentially some business deal, and it just doesn't go down. And so, I'm down with it. I'm fine. I'm not trying to cut out Andy's bros. I certainly wasn't saying that they should work for free. I was the one who suggested that they be paid a salary, okay? That they be salaried people and not people with a stake. Because also, there's the obvious. See, the people, the talent who are doing some project, they're the ones who are running the risk. They should benefit from the upside, but also they should be the ones who take the hit when there's a downside. So a guy, a camera operator, a sound man, it's a job, right? He shouldn't be at risk if the thing succeeds or fails. So I was saying that these guys should be put on a salary. I said $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Say $2,000 for 2 months, that would be $8,000. And we can easily cover that with the money we raise on an Indiegogo campaign, right? And, Andy, didn't want that. He wanted them to have percentages. And I was like, no, I don't want to give up a percentage of something that might not be worth anything, but could potentially be extremely lucrative to people who, all due respect to these individuals whom I do not know, they're not contributing anything. I mean, anything that any other cameraman or sound man could, contribute. So I don't get it. I'd never heard of these people. They don't have any kind of YouTube channel and whatever. And so Andy, he gets all pissed. He got incredibly angry over just this civil and normal conversation about how the equity in some project would be divided. And that just fucking clued me in, okay? That just made me realize, no, man, I don't have the patience to be babysitting some guy, okay? Because that's what it would be. It would be a babysitting gig. Babysitting the moods of Andy Worski. Fuck that. I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I bring all this up, and I know it's boring, but the reason I'm bringing it up is that, see, Ethan Ralph, he's, listening to Zoom spread lies about a conversation that Ethan was privy to. He was right there. And he later agreed with me, I mean, fuck that. Fuck that, I mean, Ethan was right there. Zoom is saying that I had suggested, or I had said that SoCal and AG shouldn't be paid anything. I hadn't said that. I'd said the exact fucking opposite. Ethan is right the fuck there in the conversation between Andy, myself, and Ethan. He was there. He heard me. I mean, fuck, if I'd known that there would be like a dispute like this over a conversation that never led to anything, I would have fucking recorded it. I mean, for crying out loud. It was a preliminary conversation, and I said that the guys should be paid. I didn't want them to have a piece of the equity of it. Fuck no. You know, I mean, fuck. This is beyond retardation, okay? Beyond retardation on the one hand, but also it just shows that Ethan is just a guy who will not stick up for you. He won't. I want to ask you, Ethan, and I know that you're listening. How many guys would have gone out there to try to stop you from starting a ruckus, you know, in the middle of fucking Knoxville with a cop coming at you, huh? How many people would have tried to stop you and pull you back from the brink, the literal fucking brink, motherfucker? I mean, how many others? Do you think Andy would have done that? Look, I'm saying right now, you know, Andy and Ethan go down, Ethan's going to get drunk and he's going to get in trouble. And Andy's going to egg on that trouble and Ethan's going to wind up in the clink. That's how it's going to go down, okay? I mean, I'm not going to, you know, don't bet on me against it because you'll lose, because that's a fact. Because anybody else would have just egged on Ethan to go start trouble, you know, oh, it's so funny, ha, ha, ha. And then, you know, the next fucking morning, we're calling Rekieta to see about bailing him out. And judge is like, no, bail denied. This is a convicted felon. You know, he's going to stay in the clink and we're going to process him and send him back to a jail in Virginia. That's what fucking happened to you, Ethan. And then you go and just, you hear lies about me and you just say nothing? And it's so obvious that you're afraid of Zoom. Oh, that kind of cowardice is something I cannot stomach. I cannot stomach that level of cowardice. The guy says only lies. For instance, I'm wandering around my studio right now. He says that I live in my studio, which is not true because there's no bathroom in the studio and there's no place to eat or wash or anything of the sort. You know, and you see, I realized he spotted some shirts that I have hanging from my sofa. And the reason I have shirts hanging on my sofa, t-shirts, is because I usually film like 3 or 4 videos at a shot. And what I do is I just change shirts between each video that I shoot. So it looks, you know, that it's not all single day, right? Because I just like grouping all my shooting for the one day. And then at leisure during the rest of the week, I edit my videos, right? Because I just drape my shirts over the sofa here, my t-shirts, because I'm the only one here in my fucking studio. It's my fucking studio, right? He's like, oh, he lives there, which is just fucking absurd, but that's another of the lies he says. He said that a box on my table was full of socks. You know what it is? It's a box. It's a plastic box full of the dead cats for the microphones of my GoPros. He says all these lies, you know, and you know, it's like that guy El Rariachi, who at one point claimed that I wasn't even Latin American, that I was actually a Jewish guy from, I forget, it was Iowa or Texas. See, you know, they spread this bullshit, and it's taken me the longest time to understand why. See, why would somebody spread a lie as insane that I'm not actually from South America? And I'm actually not the person I've been doxxed as being, but rather somebody else, that I'm like some master criminal pretending to be, you know, who I've been doxxed as being, you know, and not from Chile, but from Texas or Iowa, and that I'm not Roman Catholic, I'm Jewish. Why? Why this attempt to smear people? And I didn't quite understand it because there's a logic to it, but I didn't realize it. Until now, it taken me, well, you know, I'm slow. I realize it. See, I finally realized it. Why guys like Zoom, like Kraut, like this El Rariachi, why they have this need to smear people, okay? And it's simple.
Because on YouTube, see, what happens is that credibility of an audience depends on you believing in the YouTuber, believing in him insofar as how he presents himself. Okay? Now, how do I present myself? I present myself as who I am. I am a very fortunate guy who's fairly successful, as I've said multiple times, more by luck than by brains. A lot of times I just happen to be in the right spot at the right time and have done fairly well for myself, right? And because of the fact that I'm fucking 51 years old, I've got a lot of experience. I know a lot of shit because I've seen a lot of shit because I've been around, you know? And, you know, I never claimed to be, quote unquote, a wise man. I just know shit because I've seen shit, okay? And you see it enough times, you know, you finally like learn your lesson. And so this attempt to smear people is an attempt to denigrate who they are and who they present themselves as being so that they'll lose their audience. That's what it's all about. It's trying to denigrate them for the sake of hurting their audience. Now, if you notice something, see, like my audience, no problem with my audience, see? Because my audience and the IBS audience don't really overlap. A few people here and there. But, you know, when I make a fool of myself on IBS, I don't lose anybody insofar as my subscribers are concerned. And I've made a fool of myself plenty of times on IBS, yeah. But then I realized, yeah, because for me, it's just like a holiday going on IBS. It's not like my main show. That's why when Andy does something stupid, he takes a hit on his subscriber base. Yeah, that's how it is because they depend on this shit. I don't. For me, it's a hobby, okay? But anyway, look, bottom line, I think that Andy is a very intelligent guy who has surrounded himself with horrible people because he doesn't know how to pick people. And frankly, the only people he wants around him are people who say yes to whatever insanity he says. Okay? And so, of course, he's finally, you know, descended to Zoom levels. Zoom will tell him any lie, no matter how outrageous or foolish, if it conforms to what Andy believes or wants to believe. Okay? I mean, it's what's the name of that fallacy? Chat, help me out here. The fallacy, I'm not going to have Lyle fought. I don't want to interact with the guy. I'm done with him. This is the last time I'm ever going to speak about him. Okay? I am not interested in having any kind of conversation with either one of these people or any of these people. I find them just pathetic, okay? And here's the news, just so that we're real fucking clear, okay? See, Andy acts like a top dog. No. Andy's got a dying channel. Andy gets less than a quarter of my daily views. If you want to, you know, look at the Social Blade, go ahead, look it up yourself. His best day over the last month was worse than my worst day. Go check it out if you don't believe me. Yeah, that's the truth of it. Andy, whom I know you're listening. Andy, you have a dying channel. And you have devolved into this, I don't know what the fuck you are. I don't really care. You're just, you're a smart guy. You're a talented guy. You're a very dynamic presence. You will go nowhere. Yeah. And I think that you fundamentally know that. And I think that that's why you just sabotage anything instead of like actually listening to people who are actually telling you things that you need to hear. What, you think I haven't met people like that before? When I was living in LA, there were tons of guys who had had a stroke of luck and started doing all kinds of foolish things and didn't listen to good advice, and their stroke of luck vanished and they went down the tubes and they never amounted to much. I saw that, and boys and girls, I was one of those guys. Yeah. When I was like 27, 28, I made a shit ton of fucking money by, frankly, luck. Yeah, sure, I'd written some things that were pretty cool, sure. But I made a ton of fucking money and I didn't listen to anybody. And I made stupid decisions and I surrounded myself with the worst fucking people imaginable. And yeah, and by sheer luck, I was able to recover a few years later, okay? And after that, I learned my fucking lesson. But I don't think that Andy is going to be that lucky because in my own case, it was incredible luck that I had a second chance. You know, whatever Scott Fitzgerald said, you know, or no, he did say there are no second acts in American life. Fucking A. There are no second chances, you know? I mean, if you do have a second chance nowadays, you are incredibly lucky. I don't think Andy's going to have that kind of luck. No, especially because he keeps on fucking up the good luck that comes his way. Yeah, the Knoxville thing and the potential for making a show out of it, that was a colossal stroke of luck. It could have been like a big thing. I don't think it's going to be anything big in this going to Richmond and going to Miami and shit. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong about everything, you know. But I don't see it happening, you know. Not with the way things are going. Yeah, it's been 20 minutes of ambient. Well, fuck off, Egon. I could give a shit. You know. But I just have to say, I have to reiterate this point, and I don't care if you guys in chat are bored by this, but I just have to say it, you know. How low can you get of not sticking up for somebody when you were there, when you are hearing the bullshit of somebody who heard crap and is just making up lies, and you're hearing it. You're hearing shit being flung at a guy that you know didn't say what these lies are saying, right? You know it. A guy who saved your ass from jail, because you would have gone to jail, Ethan, and you and I fucking know it. And you don't believe me? Ask Gator. He was right there. He was right behind me. He was right behind me. And I told you the very next morning what had happened. Fuck. You know, a guy like that who doesn't stick up for somebody who literally saved him from going off a fucking cliff. Fuck that guy. I want nothing to do with such a man. Life is too fucking short. Yeah. You know, because like, you know, yesterday, Ethan, when I went on your stream, you know, I was sort of like thinking about it, that, oh, you know, this Ethan guy, I don't know. Then right after I leave, you know, Zoom comes on and says lies, and you knew that they were lies, and you said nothing, and you were scared of Zoom. Wow, man. What a chicken shit. You know, JF might be a lot of things, a lot of fucking things, right? And I'm not going to dispute or defend JF. JF's a big boy. He can defend himself. But I'll say one thing about JF. He wasn't afraid of people. Not when the truth was at stake. He wasn't afraid of Sargon and said to his face that Sargon was lying about me. Yeah? And did a whole video about it. And he called it, you know, Sargon must retract. Yeah. But you, Ethan? You know, I don't expect like, you know, being buddies or anything, but at least have the decency to stick up for the truth. I saved your ass from jail, and you let other people lie about me when you know that they're lies. And you know that these lies are damaging. That's the only reason that they're being said. Because, you know, this guy Zoom is just hoping that something will stick. Fuck you, Ethan. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Andy, I don't really care about, because, you know, I read him. I know who he is. But I thought that, you know, after, what's his name? Ethan had gone to jail, he would have just been, you know, a little bit more, you know, on the ball, you know, a little bit more of a man. I was wrong. See, chat? I'm wrong all the time. Now, anyway, this is me venting. Like I said, this is a shit stream. This is where you come to vent, okay? I don't care if you don't like it or you think it's boring, whatever the fuck. It's important to me. Just a fucking, you know. Also, by the way, I think that these guys are really upset that my Indiegogo is going so well. Yeah, in 3 days, I've raised something like $6,000, I think, you know. Actually, how much have I raised? Chat, let's go find out. I actually haven't seen it. It's this morning where I am. Let me see here. And 6152. 82% complete of the goal with 88 backers. And I'm thankful to all of those backers. They're just, wow. Let's see how Andy's and Ralph's Indiegogo is going, huh? for shits and giggles. Oh, good on them. They've got 4 days left, and they raised 102% of their goal, $4,115 out of 61 backers. Check it. Check those numbers. 61 backers between the two of them. And they're supposed to be like these big internet gods, right? And I have 88 backers. Really makes you think, huh? You know, these fuckers, for some reason, they think that they're, king shit of Turd Mountain. Ethan, I'm sure you know this, but I'll tell you so that, the audience knows as well. Your show is dying. Yesterday, you had Jesse Lee Peterson and Dick Masterson. And what happened to your numbers? You got fewer. What, you never broke 1,700? What the fuck? Your channel is dying, And ask around. I've been talking to different people to see how to help you. Well, that's what I used to be doing before I realized that you were just a cowardly little fuck who doesn't stand up for his friends, or at least stand up for people who have been decent to him and have helped him. Yeah. I was asking around to see how to help you, okay? I made suggestions to how you could get back on YouTube. Are you going to just like not say anything about that either? I don't know. I'm Ralph. I don't stick up for people, and I don't tell the truth, even when lies are being spoken to my face. I needed to get this off my chest, And I recognize also that part of the reason is because I personally have like a family issue going on, a family health issue, not my own. Unfortunately, I wish it were my health problem, but it's somebody close to me. And that's been weighing on my mind and has made me, it's made it very difficult for me to be editing the video, because I actually edited shitloads of the video of the Knoxville fight. Yeah, it's pretty good, it's really good. The ending is fantastic, I mean, really, Gator was in the ring and I was in the ring, and I had like two cameras, one on a gimbal and the other just like handheld. And Gator had a camera, and I know everybody makes fun of me because of that, right? Because I had two cameras. But the footage is fucking amazing. It looks beautiful. And I cut it. You guys know that I'm really good at cutting, okay? That's the one thing that I really enjoy doing. It's just so much fun for me. I much prefer it than to actually like record. Recording for me is just like, but editing, oof, I love editing. And, the patience of it and just getting it just right and the rhythm of it and the whole thing. I just love it. So anyway, I cut the ending and it looks beautiful. I'm not going to fucking release it. Because it fucking basically glorifies Andy. And what, am I going to put my name to something that fucking glorifies Andy? Fuck no. I mean, for me, at this point, it's an editing exercise. I'll get around to it when I get around to it, I'm certainly not going to put it out, not after the retardation of Andy and Ethan. They deserve each other. And I hope that their marriage is a happy one. I think it's going to be a short-lived one, but I hope it's a happy one. Yeah. So anyway, anybody who didn't like this stream, they can fuck off. I mean, I could give a shit. I think that I've said my piece. What was it, 45 minutes of this shit? Oh, yeah. Andy Komragsky. Well, the thing is, see, insofar as Andy is concerned, I could put up with a lot of his shit, even, having to put up with his constant meltdowns. One of the things that Ethan was complaining to me about was that Andy called him all the time for hours, like for instance, this, I don't know if it is Queen of Paws who's in the chat, but he's saying, release the gun footage on the ranch. See, when that gun meme happened, I didn't say a fucking thing. Okay? Not a fucking thing. People would super chat me with the gun meme and say that, trying to get me to say something, and I'd always pretend I'd never heard of it. Okay? Because I believe in decency. I believe in sticking up for people and not embarrassing them, I never mentioned that fucking meme, okay? Like, you all remember Smellington and his thing with his wife, right? Some of you might have, some have not. Go check it out in this channel because it's here. See, I hopped on that stream. He was drunk and he'd fallen asleep. and left the mic live, right? And his wife comes in, and wakes him and just like starts like berating him. And the first half of that is fucking funny as fuck. She's berating him, saying she smells up the house, that she smells up the nice chair, armchair, I think it was, and she was just pissed at him, right? And but then later in the second half, they start going at it like the man-woman shit between the two. Okay, I mean like real nasty shit. I cut that out. Okay, because the smelly part that was funny. But the second half, that was man-woman shit between the two of them. I don't want to be a party of it. And since I was accidentally a party of it, and I knew that that clip was going to be released, I got ahead of it. I released it myself, and I cut out that section deliberately. And I deliberately cut it out in such a way that you would think that that's the end of it. Because what happened was that Smellington left the mic on, and some friend of his or somebody managed to like turn up the radio real loud on the Discord so that it drowned out the rest of the conversation. And I used that. I basically, cut the middle part and just squeezed the two parts together so it would seem as if it was one recording deliberately because making fun of Smellington, why not? But, releasing his private shit? No, I mean, that's you got to have a little bit of fucking decency, right? Oh, man. I mean, that's how I've always comported myself. I mean, like, yeah, I don't mind making fun of people. I don't mind shitting on them or anything like that. But, I try to act decently. I never shit on Ethan Ralph with the gun meme. Never. Okay? And I won't because this is the last time I may be talking about this guy. And I never had, I never laughed at Andy's speech impediment, never, because it wouldn't occur to me, okay? I mean, I feel like a fool. I feel like I have been fooled by these two guys. Medicare is right. This whole internet friends doesn't work. You cannot have internet friends. It always goes south. It always goes south. And now I know. Now, I mean, I'm hoping to do a few things with some other content creators. I think it would be a lot of fun to do a few things. Yeah, sure. But, like Ethan, I'll say something else. I mean, like in the boards, people have caught on to this, that Ethan at first was really condescending towards me when I would get on the kill stream or whatever. He was kind of nasty, to tell you the truth. And then after a while, he seemed to warm up to me. And then later, he was buddies, right? You know what I think? I think it was because of the views. I think that bottom line, the guy sort of like angled me and he said, he doesn't really have the views. And so I don't have to really put up with him. I don't have to be nice to him. But then later, as my channel started growing, he started acting nicer to me, And I was like a fucking idiot. I thought it was just because, he'd gotten to know me and thought better of me. No. And that's why he sucks up to Keem, and that's why he sucks up to Dick Masterson. It's all an issue of who has the most views. Well, I suppose that would mean that he treats this as a business and not as internet friends. So I guess he's smarter than me. Yeah, he is, because I foolishly, like an idiot, thought that, having a good time with somebody and speaking in confidence about a few things here and there meant that there was some sort of relationship. Saving somebody's ass from going to jail for a second time, I thought that meant something. Obviously, I was wrong, And the way, what's his name? What you call it? Ethan, he like cozies up to YouTubers who have more robust channels. Yeah. So anyway, chat, I'm not going to go on. This isn't worth it. I wonder what the up to down votes are. Oh, 141 down and 100 up. Like I give a shit. Yeah, because my audience doesn't intersect with the audience of this shit stream on the one hand. And on the other hand, I don't really care. I don't really care if I'm unpopular. I don't really care. Well, no, that's not true because everybody does care. We all care about being considered unpopular. But see, I don't mind being short-term unpopular when I know that I'm long-term right. okay? When people shit on me about Sargon, Sargon knew, and people laughed at me and said all kinds of nasty shit, well, who's laughing now, motherfucker? Because I was right. I'm right about these two guys, okay? They're never going to amount to much, okay? And Andy is like so impressed that, oh, you know, I'm so cool with YouTube. They haven't cut me out yet or whatever. They don't do shit to me. You know, somebody takes over my stream and runs gay porn or whatever the fuck they were running, right? And nothing happens to me at YouTube. Yeah, Andy, you know why nothing happens to you at YouTube? Because YouTube doesn't give a shit about you. Because you're a fly speck. You're a speck of a fly on shit. That's what you are. One of many. Of course, they're not going to give a shit about you. They're not going to go after you because you're nobody. That's a fact. And see, Andy, you are never going to amount to anything because you don't listen to the people who are telling you the truth. You only listen to people who tell you lies, the lies that you want to hear. And as soon as I'm done with the stream, some people are going to come up to you and start saying lies, lies about me, lies about the truth, lies that will, you know, lull you to sleep, and you'll keep on going as you're going and you'll never be anything. Okay? Like I say, I know this shit not because I'm smarter, but because I've been around longer. Okay. Lieutenant Corbus, the 14-year-old Ralph keeps bringing on for views. Who is address Lieutenant Corbus? I have no idea who Lieutenant Corbus is. Is that the little girl, the Soph girl? I find that creepy. I think that that's weird that a 14-year-old girl is going on a show for adults. I think it's wrong. Coach Beta Pill, oh, fuck off. Release the gun footage. No, I'm not going to release the footage. I don't have to. 4K gun footage now. Actually, it was 2.7K. Yeah, because you shoot it on 4K on GoPro and it fisheyes. Yeah. What's up with crowd audio? I don't know. I don't care. I've never, you know, Zoom is peddling the bullshit that me and Kraut are in cahoots. I love the word cahoots, by the way. That we're in cahoots together, that's absurd. But that's funny. It's a funny lie, you know? I don't think that Jim is on. Is Jim here? Hit 1 if Jim is around. I'll wait for you guys to catch up. Yeah, I figure I'm with Coach. Oh, thank you, James. I think that you're the only one. I thought you didn't want any drama. What the fuck is this about? Backstabber. No, it's not backstabbing when you do it in publicly to people's face. Well, if Medicare wants to hop on, he could just DM me to my Twitter. I'll check it out right now. I have a message here from Ethan Ralph is saying bullshit. I don't give a shit, Ethan. You know, you're just a weakling who doesn't stick up for your friends. You know, as I said before in my private DMs to you, which I'll say now, our relationship is over. Now, this is the only time I'm going to be addressing this shit. You guys can talk about it till the cows come home, as far as I'm concerned. This is the last time I'm going to address any of this shit. I am never going to mention Ethan Ralph again. I am never going to mention Andy Worski again. I am never going to mention any of the hangers-on of that particular shit show. Just not interested, okay? Insofar as Gator and Zidane are concerned, just to be really clear, those two guys have been nothing but kind to me, and I think the world of them. And I'll say this privately. I said this privately, but I don't have a problem saying it publicly. I said to them both by private DM that if because of their position, having a continuing relationship with me would make their life very difficult, no hard feelings on my side. I completely understand, and I wish them both nothing but the best. I've had the opportunity to talk to Ethan Ralph's wife, Nora, a lovely woman. I wish her nothing but the best. A lot of people have, laughed about the fact that, Ethan was a bad boy in Knoxville. I can say this, hand to heart, and I'll say it because if it weren't true, I'd tell the truth. He didn't fuck around, not once. And I was there most of the time, and if he had at some opportunity, I would have heard about it because there were no secrets in that fucking house, right? No, not once, not even flirting with anybody. I can say this unequivocally, okay? He drank like a fucking fish, like a fucking alcoholic that he is, for crying out loud, But insofar as him, cheating on Nora, no, he seems to be, very careful, and a loving husband, and good on them. If it weren't true, if what I'm saying now weren't not true, if he had been cheating on Nora, I'd tell you guys, because I don't give a shit about the guy. Okay, so there's that. Let me see. Does anybody want to hop on? No private DMs, so I'm guessing not. Let me see here. Hello? Oh. No, I'm getting a message here from a guy who's actually been a very sharp customer, and he was the smartest one. He left the whole scene. And he's saying that Ralph wants to get on. I don't have to pull him on. I don't want to. I'm not going to have a public hissy fit with the guy. I don't want to. I don't have to. And if chat doesn't like it, chat can fuck off. And let me see what else. I wanted to do other things, but I think that for the first shit show, the first shit stream, this has been quite an episode. A coward, cucked, red pill. Yeah, fine. No, I'm not afraid. Game Boy chat, I don't know what even that Game Boy is. Game Boy chat is. I have no idea what you're talking about. If he wants on to ask me anything, sure. Let me just check if this is true. I don't think it's true. I don't see him there in the participants log, so I'm guessing that that's bullshit. Anybody, reputable is free to... Actually, I don't know if they can DM me because I have protected thing. But if somebody wants to get in touch with me, they can do so. Or hop on the stream. What is this? What is this? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Beta. What chat? You think that you're going to goad me into changing my mind? Oh yeah, I know. Andy's goons, Andy's tards. Get 3P on? No, I'm not up for having to wrangle 3P. I mean, he's fun in small doses, but right now I'm not up for it. I got a lot of shit to do, to tell you the truth. CRP Donga, fine. Pussy, what a boomer, beta. CRP, okay, CRP loses the... Get guys, no, I'm not going to have that retard on. Open the door to one of your viewers, coward. No, I don't have to. You see, you guys don't get it, see? That kind of attitude of like, do it, you're a coward if you don't, blah, blah. No, that's schoolyard bullshit. I'm 51 fucking years old. I control my environment. I allow in whom I want to. You guys have to learn that. That's part of growing up. That's part of being an adult. You control who you allow into your environment. I foolishly allowed these two individuals. It was my mistake. I made another mistake. Shit, not the first one, and certainly not going to be the last one. But you guys like going on and on like beta and coward and stuff like that. I thought the world of Ethan Ralph, and now I see what he is. Okay. He's a dick-riding, alcoholic coward. That's what he is. And anybody who wants to tell me otherwise, I have the evidence to prove that he is a dick-riding, alcoholic coward. And that's all I have to say about Ethan Ralph. And so with that, I'm going to end the stream. It's been invigorating. It's just a load off my mind. And just like, I can feel the bile that was in my heart, and I know I'm mixing metaphors there, but I can feel it like just going away. It just feels so much better to just have had it out and just done, It's unfortunate. But then again, you see, I didn't respect who Ethan Ralph actually is. I respected somebody that I thought he was, and I thought wrong. Yeah. So, chat, with that, I'm done. I don't know when or if I'll have another shit stream. If I do, I'll be sure to post it, you know. And yeah, take it easy.